The Premier say last week that mayors don't have to pay to meet up with elected officials, that it isn't part of their fundraising strategy. Why was the Premier's response not good enough for you?
Well, if Mr. Legault wants to close the debate, he needs to say one thing. He needs to say the two M&As that were exposed in such strategies are isolated cases, and you won't find anyone else doing that. He hasn't answered that question, and I hope someone's going to ask him the question, are they isolated cases? If the answer is yes, well then maybe it's individual mistakes. If we keep finding new CAC M&As doing the same thing, it gives the impression that there is an organized system to exchange access to elected officials for political contributions.
Do you think there is an organized system?
I mean, we have found two cases of CAC M&As giving the impression to people that if they come to a funding activity, they will have a special access to a minister. If it's, Mr. Legault's going to say it's a coincidence. I think there's beginning to be a lot of coincidences. And if Mr. Legault wants to be clear that the debate is closed, he has to assure us that those two cases are isolated cases.
But this is, it's allowed by the law. Mayors can give donations.
Well, let me be clear on that, and maybe it's going to give also a more precise answer to your Francophone colleague. I mean, everyone has the right to make political contributions. That's a fact, and no one is, I think, against that principle. Yes. Well, but what is clearly illegal is the exchange between a political contribution and a political decision. What we have found in the CAC is that there are M&As that are doing solicitation pitches to some people. And the fact that they're elected official is just, it would be a problem also to do that with a businessman, for example. It would be the same problem. You cannot exchange money for a political favor or a political access. This is not okay in Quebec. That's the main issue.